Well, hello and how are you? Hey friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you from right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, today's Tuesday, November the 9th, 2021. Got a happy birthday shout out to you for going for Tina, Kleeschulte, Ashbrook, and Sandi, Lenderman-Lovelady. Oh, and Shenandoah Ray Bailey Sr. So, without further ado, here is a birthday song for the three of you. Hey, Shenandoah. Hey, Sandi. Hey, Tina. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday, I'ma say. That's another 1 year gone away. So, a happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey, Tina. Hey, Sandi. Hey, Shenandoah. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So, happy birthday, I'ma say. You know, that's another trip around the sun that you made. So, a happy birthday to you, I say. I said, a happy birthday to you, I say. Hey, hey. Happy birthday to y'all, and many more. Alright, well, alrighty then. How about some Shen Show shout-outs? That's right. Shen Show shout-outs going out to Jamie O'Driscoll and Gina Cornites Daniel. And then there is always my Pokey pal, my standby Pokey pal, Amanda S. Little. And that's the Shen Show shout-outs for today. Looks like a weather forecast coming up for you. And the weather forecast is going to be brought to you today by Refreshing Word Fellowship Church. Yes, Refreshing Word Fellowship Church is a non-denominational Christian church which is located at 2054 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. That's right, pastored by ordained Pastor John Schumer. If you all would like to contact Refreshing Word Fellowship Church, you may do so by calling 636-333-0594. That's 636-333-0594. That's Refreshing Word Fellowship Church for Sunday services at 11 a.m. and on Thursdays, an hour of power prayer from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. So, come on in to Refreshing Word Fellowship Church, a non-denominational Christian church located at 2054 Campus Drive, St. Charles, Missouri. Alrighty then, here's that weather forecast that I promised you, and it'll be something like this. You know, we got up to around 70 degrees today, just about 70 degrees, so that's always a good thing. But that's not the way it's going to stay. No sirree, Bob. Mostly cloudy skies overnight with low temperatures of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be light and variable east to northeast at about 4 miles per hour. And then for Wednesday, November the 10th, cloudy skies, high temperatures of 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be south to southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Rain developing after midnight with low temperatures of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain 90%. A rainfall around 1/4 of an inch. And then for Thursday, November the 11th, some clouds in the morning will give way to mainly sunny skies in the afternoon. High temperatures of 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west at 15 to 25 miles per hour. A few clouds overnight with low temperatures of 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds west to southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then Friday, November the 12th, partly cloudy skies during the morning hours will become overcast in the afternoon. High temperatures of 48 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Higher wind gusts are quite possible. Now, a few clouds from time to time overnight with low temperatures of 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be west to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then for Saturday, November the 13th, partly to mostly cloudy. Highs around 44 degrees Fahrenheit with winds west to northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies during the evening, followed by cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures of 32 degrees Fahrenheit, winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area, Sunday, November the 14th, mostly cloudy skies with high temperatures of 47 degrees Fahrenheit, winds west to northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies early with increasing clouds overnight. High temperatures of 29 degrees Fahrenheit, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Good thing we're not getting any precipitation that night, because it would definitely freeze at 29 degrees Fahrenheit with winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Just watch out for the fall, frost and the dew on your windshields the next morning. All right, folks. Alrighty then. Here we go. Hey, it looks like we've got some events coming up, and who better to advertise those events for us than Seasonal Wreaths by Jamie. Seasonal Wreaths by Jamie is a Facebook page all dedicated to Jamie O'Driscoll, the very talented Jamie O'Driscoll, who is quite the designing decorator for seasonal wreaths. She makes wreaths and or table decorations. So, got the holidays coming up, and you feel like there's something you would like to decorate with? Well, you just go to Seasonal Wreaths by Jamie Facebook page, and you can find out what all kinds of products she designs. She's excellent. So go on over there, Seasonal Wreaths by Jamie on Facebook. All right, let's see. Bass Pro Shops are first thing coming up. Bass Pro, you can reserve your spot today for Santa's Wonderland at Bass Pro and Cabela's, which apparently are owned by the same folks these days, folks. Anyway, that's November 6th through December 24th, 2021. Free photos with Santa. Of course, that's not with Santa. He is in his little plastic cage behind you, and you will be in front of him. Surprised the glare won't shine through, but they've got the cameras lined up just right because they anticipated that. But anyway, yeah. No contact Santa Claus Christmas pictures. Yay. Anyway, experience the magic of Christmas at Santa's Wonderland at your local Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's sporting goods stores. Make sure you get your free Santa photo reservation in advance. Advanced reservations are required in all locations, and you can go quickly and reserve it today very easily. First off, select your nearest store. Second off, select your preferred time. And third off, show your confirmation ticket at check-in. Make your reservations by going to BassPro.com. Holly, jolly, and contactless. Yep. Holly, jolly, and contactless Santa Claus. Experience the magic of Christmas without touching Santa Claus. Just feel his presence behind you, and get your the magic of Santa Claus. You can feel his presence behind you. You won't feel his hug, but you'll feel his presence. Yeah, okay. Anyway, club members get 50% off any package deal when they use their card. And if you get a new card from a new club membership card, which is a charge card through their MasterCard, well, then you get 50% off anyway, so you'll have a free packet of, well, I don't know. I'm going to take that back. I got 50% off all purchases on the first time I used my charge card when I picked it up over at Cabela's. So you're probably allowed up to that 50% on this one too, plus a 50% off a club member's card. And so there you go. You'll be in good shape. All right. Anyway, the other thing that's going on is the lighting on Beale Street. That's November the 17th. Come on in on November the 17th. down to Beale Street. That's at the Streets of St. Charles complex, 1650 Beale Street. Get from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Watch the lighting of the 24-foot holiday tree by Dan Borgmeyer. He is our mayor of the St. Charles area. And so there you have it. And of course, if you want free pictures with Santa Claus actually being touched by Santa Claus, go down to Main Street in St. Charles. There's enough of the characters down there. They'll give you a hug and a squeeze. They'll let you get a picture with ease. That's right. Christmas Traditions opens on November the 26th, 2021. See, that's after Thanksgiving, folks. That's when Christmas is supposed to start, after Thanksgiving, not after Halloween. But anyway, I digress. Get on down there. On the 26th is the kickoff day. Yep, the brand new start of Christmas Traditions. It's free. It starts at 12 p.m. and it'll run from 12 to 9 p.m. 500 South Riverside Drive is where she starts off with the kickoff. And they're going to have a procession running around to Boone's Lick, and Boone's Lick up around to the gazebo where Santa and Mrs. Claus will be starting off the traditional lighting of the lighting ceremony, which starts Christmas Traditions for the St. Charles viewing area. Alright, I got a couple of songies for you. I've been kind of thinking about these tunes lately, and so I just thought I'd give them a song trial. Here we go. Are you ready for it? It's an Alabama tune. It goes something like this. The closer you get, the further I fall. I'll be over the edge now in no time at all. I'm falling faster and faster and faster with no time to stall. The closer you get, the further I fall. The things that you say to me, the look on your face, brings out the man in me. And do I see a trace in your eyes of love? The closer you get, oh baby, the further I fall. I'll be over the edge now in no time at all. I'm falling faster and faster and faster with no time to stall. The closer you get, further I fall. Could I be dreaming? Is this really real? Because there's something magic in the way that I feel in your arms tonight. The closer you get, oh yeah, the further I fall. I'll be over the edge now in no time at all. I'm falling faster and faster and faster with no time to stall. The closer you get, the further I fall. Keep falling, yeah, keep falling. Falling, yes I'm falling, yes I'm falling. The closer you get, oh yeah, the further I fall. Oh, I'll be over the edge now in no time at all. I'm falling faster and faster and faster with no time to stall. Oh, the closer you get, further I fall. I said the closer you get, the further I fall. I'll be over the edge now in no time at all. I'm falling faster and faster and faster with an empty stone. The closer you get, the further I fall. And the closer you get, the further I fall. Closer you get. All right. How about that? And then there's one more that reminded me whenever I was singing that one. It reminded me of another one. So we'll try that one too. Okay. If I can do this, and I ain't done it in a long time. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like this world's gone crazy. Grandpa, take me back to yesterday, where the lines between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay? Stand beside each other, come what may. Was a promise really something people kept? Not just something that they'd say and then forget. And did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Grandpa, everything is changing fast. We call it progress, but I just don't know. And Grandpa, let's wander back into the past and paint me a picture of long ago. Did lovers really fall in love to stay? Stand beside each other, come what may. Was a promise really something that people kept? Not just something that they would say and then forget. Did families really bow their heads to pray? Stand beside each other, come what may. Oh, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Alright, there you go. There you have it. That there was the Judds. And of course, it was me, not the Judds, but let's do a quick time check for Craig's sake. Oh, we're only 19 minutes into it, so we're going to start a story. And it's time for TV, Grandpa, with kids. Come on, kids, gather around the old TV. It's time for TV, Grandpa, to tell you your bedtime story. That's right. Each and every day, I reach out to my grandkids, and I tell them a bedtime story, so that they still recognize Grandpa's face and Grandpa's voice. That's right. Don't see the kids very much anymore, so, this is the way to keep in touch with the old homestead. You know what I'm saying? This here is about the only way you keep in touch with the family these days. We're going to try to avoid that this Thanksgiving. We're going to get the whole family together and love up some good old-fashioned cooking. Yep, that's right. That's what Thanksgiving's all about. One of these days I'll sing that song for you. That'll be next. Tomorrow I'm going to sing that song for you. I'll have to look it up, see if I still got the lyrics for it. Something I wrote. Anyway, today's story is going to be Go to Sleep. Yeah, today's story is going to be The Maiden and the Boy Who Vanished. Long, long ago, there lived a very rich nobleman who had a wonderful baby boy. The night before his son was born, the father had a dream. He dreamt that the only way his son would reach adulthood would be if the child's feet never touched the earth until he was 12 years old. Great care was taken that this should be avoided, and only trustworthy nurses were hired to look after the child. As the years passed, he was always diligently guarded. Sometimes he was carried in his nurse's arms. Sometimes the servants carried him in a chair. But the boy's feet never touched the ground. So it passed until the child was nearly 12 years old. Now, when the child's 12th birthday drew near, the father began to plan a magnificent feast to celebrate his son's release. One day, while the preparations were in progress, a frightful noise, followed by most unearthly yells, shook the castle. In her terror, the nurse dropped the child and ran to the window. At that very instant, the noise stopped. On turning around to pick up the boy again, imagine her alarm when she found him no longer there. With a cry, she realized that she had disobeyed her master's orders. The child's feet had touched the ground. They had touched the floor, and now the child was gone. Hearing her screams and wails, all the servants of the castle ran to her. The father soon followed, asking, "What is the matter? What has happened? Where is my son?" But the nurse, trembling and weeping, told of the boy who vanished, and so soon before his 12th birthday. No words can describe the anguish of the father's heart. He sent servants in every direction to hunt for the boy. He gave orders. He begged. He threw away money left and right. He promised everything, anything, if only his son might be brought back to him. Search was made immediately, but no trace of the boy could be found. He had vanished as completely as if he had never existed. Many years later, the unhappy nobleman learned that in one of the most beautiful rooms of the castle, footsteps, as if someone were walking up and down the halls, and dismissal cries and groans were heard each night at midnight. Anxious to follow up this matter, for he thought it might in some way give a clue as to the whereabouts of his son. Well, he made known that a reward of 300 gold pieces would be given to anyone who would watch for one entire night in the haunted room. Many were willing, but had not the courage to stay till the end. For at midnight, when they heard dismal groans and footsteps coming closer and closer, they would shriek and run away, rather than risk their lives for 300 gold pieces. Well, the poor father was in despair, and knew not how to discover the truth of this dark mystery. Now, close to the castle, there dwelt a widow, a miller by trade, who had 3 daughters. The family was very poor, and hardly earned enough to meet their daily needs. When they heard of the midnight noises in the castle and the promised reward of 300 gold pieces, the eldest daughter said, "As we are so very poor, surely we have nothing to lose. We might try to earn these 300 gold pieces by remaining in the room for one night. I should like to try, mother, if you will let me." Well, the mother hardly knew what to say. "Go to sleep." The mother hardly knew what to say, and she was worried, of course, because she had heard of the terrible noises that had frightened so many others away. But when she thought of their poverty and the difficulty they had day to day in setting food on the table, she gave permission for her eldest daughter to remain one night in the haunted room. Then the daughter went to the castle to ask the nobleman's consent. "Have you really the courage to watch for a whole night in the room haunted by ghosts?" said the nobleman. "Are you sure you are not afraid, my good girl?" "I am willing to try, and I can start this very night," said the eldest daughter. "I only ask you to give me some food to cook for my supper, for I am very hungry." Orders were given that she should be supplied with everything she wanted, and indeed enough food was given to her, not for one supper only, but for 3. With the food, some dry firewood, and a candle, she entered the room. She first lit the fire and put on her saucepan. Then she laid the table and made the bed. This filled up the eerie part of the evening. The time passed so quickly that she was surprised to hear the clock strike 12. At the last stroke, footsteps, as if someone walking, shook the room, and a dismal groans filled the air. The frightened girl ran from one corner to the other corner, but could not see no one. But the footsteps and the groans only got louder. Suddenly, a young man appeared. He approached her and asked, "For whom is this food cooked?" Startled, she said, "For myself." The gentle face of the stranger saddened. Then he asked, "And this table, for whom is it laid?" After a moment she said, "For myself." The brow of the young man clouded over, and the beautiful blue eyes filled with tears as he asked once more, "And this fire, whom have you built it for?" "For myself," she replied. Tears fell from his eyes as he waved his arms and vanished. The next morning she told the nobleman all that had happened in the room, but without mentioning the painful expressions her answers seemed to make on the stranger. She gratefully received the $300 gold crowns for having stayed the whole night in the haunted room, and the father was thankful to have at least heard something that might possibly lead to the discovery of his son. On the following day, the second daughter, having been told by her sister what to expect and how to answer the stranger, went to the castle to offer her services and to earn another $300 gold pieces. Well, the nobleman agreed, and she was provided with everything she might want. Without loss of time, she entered the room, lit the fire, put on the saucepan, spread a white tablecloth upon the table, made the bed, and waited for the hour of midnight. And when the young stranger appeared and asked for whom this food was prepared, and for whom is this table laid, and for whom is the fire built, she answered as her sister had bid her to do, "For me, for myself only." And as on the night before, tears ran down the face, and he waved his arms and disappeared. The next morning she told the nobleman all that had happened in the room, except the sad expressions her answers seemed to make upon the stranger. Well, the 300 gold pieces were given to her, and she went home. Yeah, Craig, hey, it's time to jet out, man. It's 29 minutes and 41 seconds, so you might want to jet and head back in. All right, God bless you, brother. Have a good one. Now, on the third day, the youngest daughter wanted to try for her fortune. Now the widow dreaded to expose her youngest daughter to any danger. But as the two elder ones had succeeded in staying in the room and bringing home $300 worth of gold pieces, she allowed her to take a chance. So, with the instructions from her two older sisters as to what she should expect and what she should say, and with the nobleman's consent and abundant provisions, she entered the haunted room. Having lit the fire, put on the saucepan, laid the tablecloth, and made the bed, she waited with hope and fear for the midnight hour. At 12 o'clock struck, the room was shaken by the footsteps of someone who walked up and down. The air was filled with cries and groans. The girl looked everywhere, but no living being could she see. Suddenly, there stood before her a young man. He pointed to the table and asked, "For whom have you prepared this food?" Now her sisters had told her exactly what to expect and what to say, but when she looked into the eyes of the stranger, she was confused and silent. Well, you do not answer me. For whom is this food prepared? He asked impatiently. Somewhat confused, she stuttered, I prepared it for myself, but you too are welcome to it. At these words, his brow grew more relaxed. And this table, for whom is it spread? For myself, said the girl, but then, she added, unless you will honor me by being my guest. A smile brightened his face. And this fair, for whom have you built fire? For whom have you built it? For myself, but you are welcome to sit by it with me. And he clapped his hands for joy and replied, Ah, yes, that's right. I accept the invitations with pleasure. But please wait for me. I must first thank my kind friends for the care they have taken of me. At that moment, a deep opening appeared in the middle of the floor. The youth descended into the hole. She, anxious to see what lay below the floor, followed him, holding on to his mantle. Thus, they both reached the bedroom. They both reached the bottom. Now, down below, a new world opened itself before her eyes. To the right flowed a river of liquid gold. To the left rose high mountains of solid gold. And in the center lay a large meadow covered with millions of flowers. The stranger went on. The girl behind him followed unnoticed. As he went, he saluted the field, flowers, and old friends. Then they came to a forest where the trees were full of gold, and many birds flew around the young man, perching on his head and shoulders while he spoke to and petted each one of them. The girl broke off a branch from one of the golden trees and hid it as a remembrance of this strange golden land. Leaving the forest of gold, they reached a wood where all the trees were of silver. Animals of various kinds crowded around the youth, and he spoke to each and every one of them and stroked and petted them. Meanwhile, the girl broke off a branch of silver from one of the trees. And when the young stranger had said goodbye to all his friends, he returned by the path that he had come, arriving at the foot of the opening to the castle room. He began to rise, and she, coming silently after, holding on to his mantle, up they went, higher and higher, until they reached the opening to the room in the castle. The floor closed up behind them without a trace. The girl returned to her place by the fire, where she was sitting when the young man approached. "All my farewells have been spoken," said he. "Now we can have supper." She hastened to place upon the table the food that she had prepared before, and sitting side by side in front of the fire, they supped together. And when they had finished, he said, "Now it is time for me to rest." He lay down on the bed, and the girl placed by his side the gold and silver branches she had picked in the sparkling world below the floor. In a few moments he was sleeping peacefully. She then settled comfortably in a soft chair beside him. The next day the sun was already high in the sky, and yet the girl had not come out of the room and to give an account of what had happened. The nobleman became impatient, pacing the floor and worrying about what might have happened to the girl. At last he determined to go and see for himself what had happened. Well, picture to yourself his surprise and joy when, upon entering the haunted chamber, he saw his long-lost son sleeping on the bed, while beside him sat the widow's beautiful youngest daughter. At that moment the son awoke. The father, overwhelmed with joy, summoned the attendants of the castle to rejoice. Then the young man saw the 2 branches of gold and silver, and said with astonishment to the girl, "What do I see? Did you follow me down there? Know that these 2 branches will make a splendid place for our future dwelling." Thereupon he took the branches and threw them out of the window. Immediately there appeared a magnificent palace made entirely of gold and trimmed with silver. There they lived happily as man and wife, the nobleman's son and the miller's youngest daughter, forever and ever, forever after. The end. There you go, kids. Hey, that was TV time with Grandpa. That was The Maiden and the Boy Who Vanished. Okay, here we go. Today's Daily Bread portion of the program. That's right. The Daily Bread portion of the program is brought to you by the Bible with Briscoe 2021. The Bible with Briscoe 2021 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2021 will be Jeremiah 46 through 47 and Hebrews 6. Don't forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2021 for your daily reading of the Bible. Alrighty then, hey, let's see, we got a true disciple of Jesus. That's our daily devotion today, and we're going to be reading for our scripture and insight, John 15, 1 through 8. The vine and the branches. This is a parable, I am sure. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will bring in even more fruit. You are already clean because the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can the bearer bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up and thrown into the fire and burned. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. And there you have it. That was John 15, 1 through 8, which concludes the Daily Bread portion of the program, which was brought to you today by The Bible with Briscoe 2021. The Bible with Briscoe 2021 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Do not forget to tune into the Bible with Briscoe 2021 daily for your daily reading of the Bible. Alrighty, my friends. Hey, that's it. That's the Shen Show in a nutshell. I'm done. I'm finished. It's over. I'm going to have to say one more song, though, for you, and it goes like this. Oh, well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I say goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. I said goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. This here has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello, and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show, and as always, you know, God loves you, and so do I. So come back and see me tomorrow, because, well, hey, I'll be here, and I hope that you are too.